Hello, welcome everyone to the NRL Grand Final Punters preview. Obviously, the last Punters preview podcast episode for the NRL season in 2023. Actually, you know what? I lie. We might do a mini pod for the international games coming up. But anyways, guys, it is going to be an amazing day of rugby league. We've got New South Wales Cup versus Queensland Cup at 1:20. We've got NRLW, the girls, the Gold Coast Titans, Clarkie's girls. Gold Coast in their first ever grand final in the women's comp coming up. I think it's about 5 p.m. Sydney time. And then we've got, I think it's 7:50, the NRL Grand Final, the Broncos versus the Panthers. Before we get into our tips and sort of covering the actual game, I just wanted to say a big thank you. I've gone on about this many times before, so I don't want to repeat too much. But as I told you guys, I've been running this company full time for 3.5 years. And honestly, the first 3 NRL seasons was a lot of work with not a lot of reward. But this season has been so much fun, like from our point of view, not only have our tips gone well, not only have a ton of us won ton of money on try scorers, but I guess more importantly, from a long-term point of view, the reason why I'm running this company full-time, we want to do so much more with Wicky, more sports, not just punting, but get into fantasy and super coach. And it's actually just been really cool. A lot of the guys are obviously on the Discord and on socials, sort of, this is a thing that they do sort of before and after work and just sort of chat footy. But for me, I'm doing this all day. So it's really been a great opportunity to get to know a lot of you guys in the community, and I'm really, really excited to sort of deliver a lot more stuff for you guys over the next few months across a few different sports. We're going to kick off with NFL stuff first in the next sort of few, or probably just after the long weekend. NBA season starts in a couple of weeks. We'll have stuff for that. We'll be going all in on the Cricket World Cup, WBBL and BBL, and a lot more exciting stuff that I'll cover off some other time. But just very quickly, guys, what you see on your screen, Google Wiki Linktree, and you can find this stuff right here. At the top, you've got all of our socials. Obviously, if you could follow us and like our stuff, we'd really appreciate that. Our Discord, it's gone from 300 to 3,300 in the last sort of 6-7 months in this NRL season. And honestly, that changed the, as I keep saying, I do this full time, and my full-time gig was going to be, I want to work with sporting teams. I want to do all this stuff. And honestly, that wasn't getting us very far. And what you guys have done with the community, going 11x in 6-7 months, has shown me there's an actual opportunity to work with you guys, put out more data tools, more tips and content, and grow with you guys. And that can legitimately be our business itself. So I'm really excited to see where the Discord and the community is going to go. And if you're not part of it already, please join and share this across with your mates. We've got a whole bunch of other stuff like our socials, BetRite and Dabble, which we've got partnerships with. If you need to make an account, please do so here. Our website, and what are we? We've got the Punters preview article with our tips. This is going to have, I'm going to go through it in a second, but it's going to have stuff for the NRL Men's Grand Final, the Women's Grand Final, New South Wales v Queensland Cup. We're not just try scorers. We're going to have a look at Clive Churchill Medal, the Women's Grand Final Player of the Match medal as well, and also Draftstars. So Draftstars have been amazing to us. We've been working with them for 2 whole NRL season, 2 big bashes. And obviously the Draftstars Grand Final contest, which I'll go through, there's a $60,000 prize pool. I think first prize is just shy of $6,000. So if you do play fantasy and super coach, obviously please gamble responsibly, but it's a really cool way of still playing fantasy, but you're only making a team for that one game. Same concept with the salary cap and stuff. And if you do enter the main $15 entry comp, as I said, first prize is almost $6,000 and the prize pool is $60,000, which is really cool. Good time to give it a crack as well on Grand Final day. We've got a whole bunch of other stuff, guys. I know it's the end of the season, but we've put a lot of effort into making articles and YouTube videos to explain a lot of the stuff that Wiki does. And as I keep saying, this is only the beginning. We've just hired a second marketing person. I'm going to hire a third marketing person going into the next NRL season. So we're going to go all guns blazing in a few months' time when it's time for Big Bash NRL as well next year. And look, I won't go on and on about everything else, but there's a lot that we have done, a lot that we'll be doing. But let's get into the grand final. The grand final, I'm going to not talk too much about the game itself. I think there's podcasts like Tripod. There's a bunch of stuff on Channel 9, on YouTube and Fox Sports and KO. So many game previews. So I won't talk too much about the game itself. I will say, though, look, it's in Sydney. What are the main things to think about, right? A, it's in Sydney, so Brisbane's got to travel. B, it's extremely hot that day. I think it's meant to be more than 30 degrees in Sydney on Sunday. Panthers have done this 4 years in a row now. Obviously, the Queensland guys, a lot of the Broncos have played Origin, but I think only 2 of them, Capewell and Reynolds, have actually played a grand final. Whereas half of this Panthers team has been playing most of the last 4 years. I think as if you're a neutral fan, it's really, really hard to go against the Panthers. But I think if you're a neutral fan, you also want another team to win the NRL Grand Final. So if you are going to have a bit of a punt on the results, I would say just back in your gut and put a small bet on whoever you're following for the day, because I don't think any experts can tell you that the line's way off and one team, it has a clear edge or anything like that. So I would just go with who you want to win on the day, in all honesty, in terms of the result. One of the guys on our Discord has mentioned that the unders for the total is probably a good play, and he's pretty convinced. And honestly, I think it is a great play. I think if you think about it, if you really want to break it down, what this game reminds me of is one of those really tight sort of state of origin affairs. You know that I guess historically in the last few years, the origin games in New South Wales tend to be lower scoring, and the ones at Suncorp tend to be higher scoring. So I'm thinking A, it's at Acor, B, sort of like in the evening after a hot day, could be, well, I don't know if this is right, but could be due around. But also, I think the main thing is you can't separate these two teams. And what do really good teams do against other good teams? They focus on defense. So I think unders generally is the way to go. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get into what I'm actually here to talk about, which is try scorer tips, right? So I think in all honesty, with try scorer value, what works really well is when you've got 8 games to pick from, you can break down 34 players across, or times 8, have a look at all the different bookies and find like little bits and pieces, like nuggets of gold. That works really well. When it comes down to prelims and grand final, and you've only got 1 or 2 games to break down, I'm not a big believer in trying to go, edge on edge. I reckon Liam Martin's going to bust through, Kurt Capewell and all that kind of stuff. You can. It is good fun. And that's how, if you're putting on sort of small ATS bets, anytime try score bets, you can have a bit of fun with that in multis and stuff. But the way I do things and the way we do things at Wicky was trying to find like bigger odds players and juicy value. And come grand final day, there's not a lot of value. So I will break down a couple of key angles here very quickly. And obviously this write-up, I've been really busy this week, so I haven't actually had time just yet. I'm recording this at Friday lunchtime in Sydney. I haven't had time to flesh out the write-up. I haven't had time to add in NRL Draftstars value picks. I haven't had time to do the NRLW, the New South Wales Cup, all that kind of stuff. But I've got a bit of an aim. I've got to leave the house at 5 p.m. today on Friday. So if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, by 5 p.m. on Friday in Sydney, this whole article will be fleshed out. There'll be tips for every single game on Sunday. So obviously, if you're checking this out on Saturday or Sunday morning, it'll already be there, right? So the angles that I'll sort of go into from this game, I love the price for the middles in this game. So I think pretty much every middle, like Fisher Harris, Leota, I think they're about $67 odds on one of the bookies now. Harsflegger and Carrigan are around that sort of like 71 to 91 mark, I think I've seen recently. These bookies that I've listed here, this was when I did this 2 or 3 days ago. So what I usually do is I do my write-up here, explain why I like these picks, and then I'll do a game day update. So if you do want to have a bit of a punt on try scores, check out this article on Sunday morning, and I'll do a game day price update, and I'll let you know which site has the best price for which players out of our picks. And if you don't want to read all that stuff, odds comparison tool right here. Click on this, and that'll go straight through, and you can actually just find, all the different players, all the different all the different bookies, and find the best price yourself. But anyways, guys, just very quickly, the angles that I want to take. Nathan Cleary has scored the last try in NRL games, 1 in every 10 games. And we're going to get somewhere between 21 to 26 for last try scorer. That price has now been crunched in, but we're going to find somewhere over $20. And I think that's great value. He scored, I think he scored like three of the last 4 weeks or 4 weeks in a row, something ridiculous. He's been running the ball a lot. He's going to want to put his stamp on this game. And I think, his historical stats point to him scoring a lot late in the game. I think it's great fun. It's also a great fun bet to follow, right? Like you're still watching the end of the game. If it's close, he could break the game apart, win the game for the Panthers. If it's not close, you're just egging on him to get over late in the game. The other one I really, really like is Spencer Leniu. Now, he should be $41 or above on Sportsbet, Neds, or a couple of different bookies to score the first try in the second half. He's a beast of a man. He scored the first try in the second half for us in Magic Round at $101 odds. I will never forget that game. It was absolutely amazing. In a grand final, though, obviously it's going to be tougher, but he's played that bench role for the Panthers quite consistently now for the last 3-ish years. And he's actually scored the first try in the second half, 1 in every 20 games. And we're getting somewhere around 41 or even higher in a couple of bookies, I think, now, which I just absolutely love. So I think Leniu, FTS second half, Cleary, LTS, they're probably like the two bets that I'm really keen on, whereas a lot of the Bronco middle forwards, it's more the price, like we're getting a really nice price on them. Other one I'm really excited about is Kobe Hetherington. I love his running style. Smoothie's a little bit of a risk in case he's not on, but I'm happy to take them both at that sort of $67 or more on Sportsbet. And the one, I think this falls in the late, if you sort of asked me, which bets am I really excited about, it'd be Leniu Cleary and Billy Walters. On the premium chat, I had a few beers throughout the day and I threw out Billy Walters 2+ tries at 81s last week, and that got up. So a few of us won on that, which is freaking awesome. But Billy Walters paying around that sort of $15 mark for first, second, or third try scorer. He scored 2 tries last week, and he's been in great form in 2023. Son of the coach, Kevy was a winner. He won like 6 grand finals for the Broncos. I reckon this is the stage for Billy Walters, and there's just so many different ways that I can see him scoring as well. He'll back up for a try. He'll go from dummy half. He'll chase a grubber. Absolutely love the price there on Billy Walters. So if you had to ask me for my 3 favorite plays, they'd be Leniu, Cleary, and Walters. But as always, I love these big odds try scorers. Remember, though, if you do see Carrigan, Haas, or Flegler, and you've only got one bookie account and they're paying 41s or something, do not get on that. That is not the play that I'm putting out. I put these plays out because I'm trying to find the best prices for you guys. And you go on these bookies like a Dabble or Sportsbet, and I think Neds as well, and they have these middle forward, and I think 365 potential as well. They have these players at really high odds. Do not try to say, oh yeah, I got on Wicky Tips, and then go on some other bookie at 41. That is not what we want you to do at all. It pays to have at least 4 or 5 different bookie accounts and get on at these juicy prices. Because even if you've got $10 on, it's a lot more fun winning $800 rather than 400. I can tell you that much. Guys, I'm going to shoot through the rest of it because a lot of this is just my opinion. And a lot of the times I say, I've done NRL try scores for more than 10 years. So I hope you guys think my opinion's worth a little bit more than the average punter. But a lot of the other stuff, I'm just trying to find you guys the best price. So our premium odds comparison tool, usually it's reserved for the people who have paid for Wiki Premium. But it's grand final day. I'm going to open it up for free. So I'm going to have a chat to our tech guys. By grand final day, it will 100% be free for everyone. And the coolest part about that, and I'll show you guys in a second, but you can actually find the best price for Clive Churchill across a few different bookies as well. So I'll quickly talk through a couple of my favorite picks. Again, I'm going for value here, and I've written all about it here. So Billy Walters is one of my favorites. I cannot believe he's still paying $71 to get the medal. He's a spine player. I understand Walsh and Adam Reynolds are going to get all the attention if the Broncos win or the Broncos forwards. There's just no way that Walter should be paying 71-1 there. So that's on Sportsbet. Clive Churchill, player of the match medal. Carrigan and Yo were both paying around that $17 mark. I think on Neds earlier in the week. Carrigan was still paying $17 on player. He's won a Wally Lewis medal last year. He could have won it this year again, and he's just absolutely immense. I looked through the stats a bit more closely. The last time they played the Panthers, he had 67 tackles, 3 tackle breaks, 3 offloads for his biggest fantasy score of the year. Obviously, it doesn't go off fantasy, but he just, in these big games, that's when he steps up. When the Broncos are winning easily, he's actually the one that gets rested, plays less minutes, whereas Haas kind of does the similar job every week. But Carrigan in big games is an absolute beast. Gone off Origin, gone off that Panthers game I mentioned from earlier in the year. Absolutely love Carrigan. Anything at $15 and up, or even $14 and up. Absolutely love that. And the last one, Liam Martin. If you can find him at $20 or above, and he was paying $26 on PlayUp as of yesterday, I would snap that up. He is a darling in the media. And when I say that, he's obviously like rough and tough and everything, but the media guys all love him. He's been playing Origin for a couple of years now. He's been part of their squad for the last 4 years. So I think he kind of falls in that bucket of like, if Cleary doesn't get it, Edwards has won it before, and it always comes down to like a Yo or a Martin. And I think like Martin can have impact. Obviously, Yo, he racks up the big stats, but I think Martin, he palmed off Cam Munster, ran through him, and then set up Cleary for a try last week. He's just so good in defense, but also now he's sort of like more consistently scoring tries or setting them up. So I love the value there as well. And I wrote a little bit about Cleary and Walsh. If you're just punting for fun and you want sort of like a lower odds play, just see who you're cheering on and just get a few bucks on Clear or Walsh. Very quickly, guys, NRL Draftstars, as I said, we've worked with them for a couple of years now. They've mainly people use our stuff for our stats Bible, which has projected scores. I'm going to do a full write-up explaining Draftstars in a bit more bit more detail. But if you play fantasy or super coach, similar concept. You've got a salary cap, but you're just making that team for one game. And what a game to start playing at NRL Draftstars. $60,000 prize pool. There you go. Almost $6,000 first prize. There will be roughly like 4,500, 5,000 entries, you'd reckon. So like one person. So like when you're playing super coach, obviously you only make the one team and you have it for the year. With Draftstars, you can make up to, 150? Yeah, 150 entries per person. Obviously, if you're putting the main contest and you're putting in $15, you're probably not going to be putting the 150 entries, but it's just how the game works. So I'll chat a lot more about that in the article. I will say it's honestly like the finals are the best time to play Draftstars because there's bigger prize pools. And obviously it's just like another way to sort of have a punt and follow the footy. Please gamble responsibly, but yeah, it is good fun. I haven't written anything here, guys, but our marketing guy's gone right into NRLW, and he's actually done a full write-up for try scorers. So I'm going to have a look at what he said, clean that up a little bit, find you guys the best prices, and pop that in here for the try scorer tips for NRLW Grand Final and for the player of the match. Gold Coast Titans surprised the Roosters last week, and they've made the Grand Final. I think they're 5.5 point outsiders, but we'll try to find some sneaky long shots for you guys there. And there's also player of the match for the NRLW. And these markets, like the bookies, obviously don't know NRLW players that well. But a few of us, we've got an odds comparison tool for this. I thought I'd put the link in already, but I will now. So we'll find you guys, if you do want to have a bit of a punt on player of the match for the NRLW, we'll get the OCT, so you can find the best price really easily. And we'll put a few tips in there for you guys as well. And this should be a lot of fun. On our Discord, we obviously had less NRL games to chat about. So we actually watched and punted on the Queensland Cup Grand Final where the Tigers were outsiders, the Brisbane Tigers. But who was it? Jonah Pezzett from the Storm was a last-minute addition into the team, and the line was stuck at 8.5 on Sportsbet when every other bookie had 6.5. So a bunch of us got on that line and they actually won the game. And I think a few of us also had some head-to-head money on. So we do love the Brisbane Tigers, but they are up against a pretty formidable Rabbitohs New South Wales Cup team, and I think they're 12-point outsiders, the Brisbane Tigers. But they've got Marion Seve on the bench, so I reckon if he makes a late start, maybe he pushes the line a couple of points. But anyways, I'll have a crack at finding you guys some good try score value there as well. And the odds comparison tool for the NRLW will also have players from this New South Wales Cup VQ Cup game as well, which will be really fun to follow. So the odds comparison tool, guys, this is the premium one. As I said, I'm going to make this free for everyone, at least on Grand Final Day and probably just on Saturday as well. But as always, the markets you can check out anytime. First try scorer, last, FTS second half, 2+ tries, first, second or third try scorer. But the most fun one, the newest one, and obviously just for this week, we've got the Clive Churchill Medal winner, finding you the best price across 6 different bookies. I'll obviously my video is covering a couple of the bookies here, but you guys can check it out. Find some of your long shots over here. You probably don't want any of these guys, but yeah, as you see, Nathan Cleary is $3.50. You can get $8 about Reece Walsh on BetRight, which I think higher. Green means the highest price is only on that bookie, whereas yellow means it is the highest price and it's on multiple bookies, as you can see. And market value means, does one bookie have a player priced for the medal way higher than other bookies? So for example, who's a good player to pick out here? Let's just say theoretically, well, actually, Liam Martin, perfect. So Liam Martin is only paying $26 on PlayUp. I've memorized that. And you can see here, he's paying 24% higher than any other bookie. So every other bookie has him sort of around that $19 to $21 mark. But then Liam Martin is paying $26 on PlayUp. It was one of my tips in the article as well. Absolutely love Liam Martin. So that's how you guys can use this tool, which will be free for everyone Grand Final Day. Very quickly, what is this? The NRLW New South Wales Cup OCT to find the best price. So we've got a few different markets here for the NRLW Grand Final and New South Wales VQ Cup. Same thing here, guys. We don't have like a model and stuff working for this stuff. So it's just market value for trying to find some of the best prices. You can play around with this stuff as well. Or you can see who the highest odds are for the Grand Final as well. Cool. What do we have here? And if you do want to play Draftstars, this is our Draftstars Stats Bible. We'll see we've got projected scores for every player. It just helps you sort of make decisions on looking at their price, looking at their projected score and value here. So for example, 8 out of 10 value, Jerome Luai. Luai's priced pretty cheaply, and we reckon he'll get sort of late 40s as a projected score. So that's how you kind of read this. I'm getting tired going through this one. Where are we? Back to the OCT. All right, cool. Awesome. That's it, guys. As I said, the podcast all year has kind of been like a nice way to kind of talk you through a bunch of stuff, but our article will have our tips for all 3 rugby league games on the Sunday. I will also be putting out some fun dabble multis that you can copy for that game, or for all 3 games, sorry, but also the AFL Grand Final, which is on Saturday. So you got the AFL Grand Final and 3 rugby league Grand Finals on the Sunday. A massive weekend of footy. Got 4 huge games, and obviously ending in the NRL Grand Final Sunday night in Sydney, which is going to be awesome. But anyways, guys, as I said, Google Wicky Linktree if you want to follow this stuff. Thank you so much for all your support throughout the year. As I said, like, do this full time, and this community growing so much, and you guys checking out our stuff so much has meant that I've actually been able to grow our team and sort of be really clear on what we want to do. And basically, we're just throwing out to the community, like, what are you enjoying? What do you want to see? So they said, yeah, we want to see NFL stuff because that's on now. They'll soon want to see NBA stuff, so we'll put more NBA stuff out. It's just a really cool opportunity to actually listen to you guys, see what you want, and actually deliver, which will be awesome. Anyways, guys, gamble responsibly, enjoy the weekend. Most people, I think even in India, there's a public holiday. So half our teams from India, half our teams from Australia, almost everyone has a public holiday. Enjoy yourselves, gamble responsibly, but also drink and drive responsible. If you are drinking, don't drive, but have a responsible weekend, have heaps of fun, and I will catch you on a podcast real soon. But otherwise, I'll catch you in the Discord community. Enjoy, guys.